guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, we'll be continuing the HTML tutorial, and this is the second day of 100 days of code. Alright, to start with, what we'll be doing today is listing. We'll be creating listing. In web design, there are three different types of lists which you can wish to add to your site. The first is, before then, please try to sign into your CodePen to practice along. Thank you. The first list is the ordered list of content. For example, when you want to list an item on your web page, you want it to have like a number in order. So this is how you put your ordered list. Alright, we'll copy this and we'll multiply it so you understand what I'm saying. Alright, so this is the ordered list. Like you can see, the lists are in numbers. It's called the ordered list. And the next one we'll be looking at is the unordered list. So after the ordered list, there is also the unordered list. If you don't want to list it with numbers, let's say you would like to list it with bullet points. So that's where you have the unordered list. So the ordered list has OL as the starting tag, opening and closing tag, then LI. While the unordered list has the UL. So, unordered list and ordered list. So yeah, so as you can see, these ones are in bullet points. So that's the difference between the ordered list and the unordered list. Depending on what you're building on, you may decide to use the ordered list or on the ordered list. Okay, the next thing we are going to look at is the table. Tables can be styled in various ways. You may decide to use a table in your website depending on what you're building at the time. It can also be styled in different way. And another way to keep your website looking neat and orderly is through the use of table. With that in mind, table can still be a useful way to present your content on your web page. Alright, so the table consists of an element with the table as an opening tag. Let's say you want to start your table. You use a table as your opening tag. Then we'll create the closing tag as well. So this is your table. Then you structure the table using the rows and the cells. So for the rows, you use the TR tag for the rows. Alright, so this is TR. We'll do the TD. Alright, so I will copy this down. Alright, as you can see, this is the row and this is the column. So this is the way you can multiply it as much as you want, depending on what you're building and how many rows and columns you want to see. This table can get quite complicated, so be sure to check out more special features you can add to your table. Next thing we'll take a look at is HTML form. When you come to most web pages, you'll be given like a login or sign-in form to fill your name and signing into the website. So basically, the HTML presents us with the foundation of creating the form. in as much as we have other technologies like the component styling and Bootstrap or CSS to style it differently. So, but we are going to like show you the basics of what you need to build an HTML form, irrespective of what you're using to style it or make it look good. Okay, so we'll be treating forms right now. So the opening tag for forms is form. You start it with form, then you add the label tag. You add the label tag. So for the label tag, inside the tag, you add 4 attributes. Then we add the input. And repeat it. So let's add the line break. We learned about line break. Let's add the 3 before we add the submit button. So add another input button for the submit button. Alright, so when you add the value inputs, it kind of helps to add the name of what you're referring to inside. So for instance, if I want the last name to be showing inside this, I'll use the value to add it in the input field. So this is it. I've not styled the submit button, but when you style it, it will look different from this. So this is basically how you structure your web form so that when someone is coming into your website, they should be able to sign in. Just know that this is the basic, building the structure using HTML. It has not been styled, it has not been arranged. It's just us trying to run through the things you use on your website. All right, in HTML, you kind of use comments to place notification and reminders in your HTML code, or kind of put instruction in your HTML code so that anybody reading the code will understand what you're trying to do. They are not displayed on the browser, but they can help document your HTML source code. For instance, you want to leave an information on your code so that anybody that jumps onto your code can understand what you're trying to do. So if for instance we want to make a comment on our web page, so what you basically do is you highlight it, and and I'm using Marquee, use a command with a slash, then it comments it out. But when the comment is not there, it can show on your web browser. So when you want to leave an information, you use your command and the slash button to comment it out. So this is how to use your comments. You can basically write anything here and comment it out. Nobody will see it, or someone, is only the person that has access to your code that can read your comments. For instance, if you want to write a comment or write my name here, you can use comments to leave that information on your code, and someone will just look at it and understand what you're doing. It will never show on the browser. So that's what we use comments for in HTML. The next thing we'll be looking at is the phrase tag. So the phrase tag can be used to, enhance a text. So we'll just go through all the important phrase tags. So let's start seeing them one by one. The first one we'll be looking at is the emphasize text, and is used to emphasize on words. So the tag starts with em and the closing tag of em. So the word you want to emphasize on will be in between the tag. Like this. So you put a space here. Alright, so you've kind of italicized or emphasized on the word. So on your website, if you want to like make a word to stand out with emphasis, so you use that tag. Another one we are going to look at is the marked tag. So this, you use it to mark the text that will be inside. For instance, you use mark. So we've marked this. So let's say on your web page you want to mark a particular word before you continue writing every other thing. You can use this and it will mark that particular word and keep it away and emphasize it or mark it so that it stands out from other words. Another one we are going to look at is the strong text. This one is used to make a word bold. Is strong, so it's bold. All right, so there are different ways you can use all this to, make your word stand out depending on what you are looking to have. Thing we'll be taking a look at is the Marquee feature. An HTML marquee is a scrolling piece of text displayed either horizontally across or vertically down your web page, depending on the setting. This is created by using the Marquee's tag. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is it. As you can see, it's moving down the page. It's created using the Marquee tag, and you can still style it to move either right or left. So for instance, we want it to move right. Let's see. It's moving the other way. So this is something so cool you can use to build fantastic web pages. There are still a lot of things you can do to it. If you want it to move up, you can still put up, and it will start change the direction of the movement. And if you want it to move down, you can use down, and it will as well change the directions. So there are a lot of cool stuff you can do with the Marquee tags. Is the email tag. Let's say you would like to kind of add an email to your web page. Let's say you built a portfolio, you would like to add an email so that when it's clicked on, it will take the person to an email file. So HTML anchor tag, we mentioned that yesterday. It provides you an option to specify an email address to send an email to. While using the anchor tag as an email tag, you will use my little email address along with href attributes. So we discussed about the href and anchor tag yesterday. So we'll be using it. It's also almost the same thing as using a link to link you to send you to the page for the email. Let's write that down now. Use the Malito. Okay, what we want to look at is the email tag, what you can use to link an email to your web page. So you use the Malito href. We mentioned about the href. We mentioned about the anchor tag yesterday. So you can basically use it to add the link to your email address. So when the user clicks on the email link, it takes the person to the email. All right, so that's all we have for you today. Thank you for sticking around. If this is your first time of coming, please come back. We still make more fun videos, learning videos that when you follow along, you should be able to learn. With all these I've taught now, you can actually design a HTML web page, but we'll get to that together after the CSS. Thank you for coming in today. Hope to see you next time. Please like and subscribe so whenever I upload the next video, you will be one of the first people to get notified. Thank you for sticking around and do have a great day. Bye.